Welcome, geniuses. I'm G, your best buddy for A-levels. In this channel, we'll bring you to explore the secret formula behind success. Meet Shafiq. It says here he's an amateur photographer. He's also interested in Japanese culture, and he's quite into gaming. Anything to prevent him from getting bored. So, Shafi, is it okay if I call you Shafi? The geniuses are really curious. How exactly did you manage to make 0 mistakes in your accounting paper and achieve a perfect score of 100 marks? And go.
So first of all, I did not manage to get a score of 100 in both my AS and my A-level exams, but nonetheless, the secret for accounting papers is practice and consistency. You must be systematic during your practices and exercises. Try your best to always use the same steps in preparing your financial statements. For instance, like me, I like to work backwards in sense that I always prepare the financial statement first and then find out the working later. First, I prepare the pro forma of the financial statements. As I go through the line items, then I will go through the workings for those items, like in a fill in the blanks exercise. Then I make sure to tick all of the adjustments that I have accounted for. However, this might work for me, but not necessarily anyone else. But if you keep being consistent with your thinking process, then you will able to realize if you were to miss something while answering the exam questions.
What resources and books did you use to aid in your revision process?
My advice is to follow whatever your teacher recommended, because accounting syllabus changes from years to years. During my time, the only book that I used was the one that is recommended by my teacher, which is Business Accounting by Frank Wood. Whichever book that you choose to use, make sure to do all of the exercises, because the exercises really helps in understanding the topics, and do lots and lots of past year's questions, because A-levels exams tend to repeat itself, even though it's not entirely repeated, but the concept is still the same. However, make sure to save some of the past year's questions for your own time test practice, because it is important that you try to replicate the exam situation or the exam environment during your practice. And please do try to answer them without referring to anything similar to an exam situation.
Now, some people find it hard to stay focused for a long period of time. So, how did you discipline or schedule your revision?
For me, it is very important to set up a schedule that is realistic but still challenging at the same time. And you have to try to be very specific with your goals. Like for me, I usually set topics as my goals. Like I want to revise these topics and these topics today before I do anything else. And it is also very helpful if you set up a reward system for yourself, like treating yourself to a fancy dinner or fancy meal, letting yourself play games or 1 hour or 2, extra sports time, simple things like that. And yes, I do actually play online games during my A-levels, and I use that as my reward system. I restrict myself during my revision session, and then if I manage to fulfill my goal, I reward myself with an hour or 2 of online games.
Do you take notes for accounting? And what kind of notes do you think are the most effective?
I think one of the most effective way to revise A-levels accounting is to read the textbooks a lot, because there's a lot of things in accounting that can't really be cut, or it will lose some of the meanings. But then it is also effective to use flashcards for accounting. For instance, if you are having problems with the accounting standards such as IAS or IFRS, then you can jot it down, just the names such as IAS 2 inventories, IAS 1 financial statements, IFRS 16 leases or something like that, because it will make your answers in the exam seems more professional, and the examiner will know you are knowledgeable in accounting subjects. Or you can jot down something much more simpler, such as a ratio formula, some explanations about the ratios analysis. In every accounting paper there will be ratio questions, so if you were to memorize memorize these ratios formula and short explanations, then you will able to cut down a lot of time loss in the exams.
Flashcards. Got it. What are the last minute tips you can give to students who will be going for accounting exams tomorrow? You know, some magic solution to make all their problems go away.
Some of the last minute tips that I can give for accounting is make sure you memorize your accounting standards and short brief of it, because every year there will be questions that ask about these accounting standards, and this will make sure that you get a lot of marks. Master your ratio analysis, because accounting ratios is very technical in the sense that they kinda really have prepared answers for it, and every year there will be questions that ask about this ratio. You just have to apply the prepared answer in the context of the question given. At least you don't lose mark for a very technical part of the questions, because the theoretical part of accounting is a bit long and you can keep on write and don't even know whether it is right or wrong, but at least the ratios is clear cut, it either right or wrong. Use that to your advantage.
Besides doing exceptionally well for accounting, Shafi here also achieved 4 A stars. How did you manage your time to ensure excellence in all your subjects?
I think in order to succeed in A2 or AS exams, you have to set up your mind that it is not easy, it requires a lot of work. So it is crucial that you start your revision from the beginning and do your revision continuously. And even if you don't want to do a rigorous revision every day, at least make sure that whatever being taught that day or that week, you fully understand it, because this will help you greatly in your revision process. As my sponsor always say, hit the ground running. Do your best from the very start. Please don't forget to enjoy yourself, because this is a very special period for we students, because it is a bridge between a study style where you are given everything in school and a study style where you are given a minimal amount of resources in uni. You still have a lot of time to study and you still have a lot of time to pursue your interests.
I'm kinda allergic to the whole hard work thing, so any shortcuts?
First of all, there's no shortcuts in studying. You have to work hard and you have to work smart. And if you want, you can get into study groups, but make sure that you try to bring something into the table. Let's say you are good with a certain topics that you can teach others. It will be beneficial for you to do a study group among your friends, because I think study group is more useful for those that have done most of their revisions and just want to share with others the things that they don't understand or questions that they still don't find the answers to. If you think that you don't know enough of the subjects to share with others or teach others, I think it is better for you to go into private tutorial sessions or a group tutorial sessions instead of normal study groups between your peers. Then the one handling the tutorial sessions will know what to expect of you and what is expected of them. And once that done and you feel confident enough, then you can start to teach others. And this teaching process greatly helps your information retaining ability.
What do you think was your key strategy in achieving good results for A levels?
If you are the kind of person that likes to write notes, likes to do colorful notes, or even just a monotone notes, it is very important that you organize your notes properly and tries to learn them by heart. Means that you know where to find specific informations, like you know this notes contains this information and this note contains that information. It will make your revision process more fluid and faster. Besides that, I did not use this during my A levels, but I am using it during my degree. There is a website called Study Blue, which is a website which compile notes from students all over the world, and you can use this website to make your own flashcards. I think this website is very useful because you can access it from internet browser, Android devices and Apple devices. So after you've done your revision, you can make flashcards from your computer, and then during your free time, jogging or exercise, you can bring out your phone and just do a simple flashcards every now and then.
Besides academic tips, what other tips do you have for people who are aiming for 4A stars? You know, slightly more general stuff.
If you are aiming for straight A star, then you really have to be disciplined and you have to take care of your mental health, because mental health is just as important as physical health. There's no use of you studying so hard that you get depressed or have a mental breakdown at the end. Therefore, it is also very important to choose your friend wisely. As harsh as it may seem, I have seen a lot of people that fail or succeed because of the friend they choose. Find someone that can help you study, that you are comfortable with asking questions, and find someone that you can tell them your personal issues or emotional issues, because this will help your mental health greatly and will prevent you from a mental breakdown.
Any chance you have any last minute tips?
Stay calm, review your notes, do some exercise, play some games, keep your mind calm, and most importantly, get enough sleep, because that will help you to answer your exam questions tomorrow with a clearer mind.
Before we wrap up today's video, can I trouble you for some words of encouragement?
Do your best, don't lose your motivations, because you're almost there. Your 2 years of hard work is almost coming to an end. Don't let it go to waste. And these exams will determine whether you will get to go to the universities that you want or not. That makes a big difference in your life timeline, I would say. And keep telling yourself that this hard work will all be worth it, because it is sure damn is.
That's all for today's video. If you're interested in more genuine sharing by other geniuses, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Ding dong. Genie, we'll see you in our next adventure. Bye bye.